Right, guys, welcome back to another In the Rough podcast from the team at STS Golf. Busy week this week. We're recapping a couple of weeks because we've all got busy lives. So we're going through, obviously, all the feed out and fallout from the Masters. Obviously, RBC Heritage last week, some different wins, kind of more controversy from other players around clubs and so on. And obviously, announcements this week about fans slowly progressing back into competitions, but we'll jump straight into the Masters. Obviously, some great performances, but one standout above the rest.
Yeah, I to be honest, it was a very good Masters actually. Challenging.
I disagree. I thought it was really boring.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Sunday was absolutely terribly boring.
But the whole drama throughout the, Justin Rose had a massive lead on day one.
What drama?
Lost that. Yeah, just the fact, the jockeying for position, Hideki coming through.
Jockeying for position that Hideki was 5 shots ahead on the Sunday. No one got anywhere near him until he bogeyed the last couple of holes because he was just like, well, I'm going to win anyway, so I can miss a few. Nah, boring.
But it was good. It was good. Okay, admittedly, the last hour on Sunday wasn't the best, but still.
Nah.
But that's no different to DJ dominating it 6 months ago.
Yeah,
it's much better than DJ dominating it 6 months ago. So I wasn't a fan of the DJ one.
Why not?
It was just too easy. The greens were soft. These greens were.
It was too easy, and he won by loads of strokes. Oh,
easy
the course played a little harder, and then Hideki won by loads of strokes. Well, but
the course Hideki played was historically hard. They even said on the broadcast, this has got to be one of the hardest. The hardest they made it in the last few years, probably in the decade, with just how fast those greens were.
Well, they said they felt sorry for all the rookies that played it for the first time in November, didn't they? And then it was a bit of a kick in the teeth coming back this time, and absolutely.
Well, no, but
not for
first thing, and he got solo second or third or something.
Yeah, he had a great performance, but I mean, I just can't get over how slim it's like an ironing board playing golf.
Sorry. Oh, it was Alaturas. I was like, "What?" Because there was the whole thing with Adam Sandler, him looking like the caddy from.
Well, have you not seen? He's got it engraved on his wedges.
What?
The quote from Happy Gilmore. He's got it engraved on his wedges, but he had it before the Masters. So it was obviously it was a running thing before, but it was but
I just didn't think it was that entertaining. I don't think their coverage is particularly great of the Masters, for one, in how they represent who's doing the shots, who they follow. Sunday was pretty boring. The great thing about it is that someone from Asia is the first Japanese winner, which is going to expand the game game massively out that way. Like we were talking about with the women and the men, it seems to be a lot bigger in the women's game in Asia. That's probably because they all win, whereas Matsuyama is the first one to do so. So
I think for Hideki, he's kind of been on the fringes for a while. So I think it's really nice to see him break through because he's flirted with it. And what I didn't like was all the coverage afterwards from a lot of the golf accounts and PGA accounts suddenly, saying, oh, Hideki this, Hideki that, in the sense of they'd been lauding him for the last year, and he was. It just felt like that they were jumping on the bandwagon to laud him.
Yeah, but that's because he's.
But they do that every time.
Yeah, they do that for whoever wins, don't they?
No, but it just felt extra, especially because every single thing was not about his achievement. It was just Asia's
achievement.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, but you're taking away from the guy himself who's been on the tour for the best part of 10 years?
I doubt he cares.
Refreshing his bank account for the 2 million to hit.
He's going home 2 million.
That's what I'm saying. Did you see the picture of him in the airport when he had just the green jacket, was just sat there on his phone, just in the middle of the Georgia airport? It must have just been refreshing his balance, waiting for it to come in.
But the media do it all the time. They do it with Bryson. When Bryson loses and is way off, they're like, oh, he's changing too much. And when he wins, they're like, oh, he's amazing. He's changed the game.
You must have loved Siab, his caddy bowing to the flag and showing respect to the course. everyone's making the point that that's how it should be done instead of saying it's a par 67 or whatever. You must have been sitting there loving that. Smug little face.
This was my face. His first round when he
the
entire way through.
we said it before. We said it before. It is not the course for his style of play whatsoever, and was never going to do well. So,
I just, do you know what? I'm gaining a bit more appreciation for Bryson, but I still think that it's just a bit much, and I think it shows. I think the iron play is still the most important thing that you need to have. Obviously, hitting the fairways is critical. The accuracy is so important. I think I wasn't allowed to pick Colin Morikawa, but he did fairly well as well, so I was very happy with that. He's sneaky.
Well, your first pick you could have had him if you wanted, but you didn't. So there you go.
No,
but no, so no moaning, Sim. No moaning. So
no moaning. I'm just appreciating Colin.
No. Right. Well, obviously this weekend as well, just gone, we had the RBC Heritage and Stewart Cink, obviously dominated. Same again. It was a bit boring by the end of it. And
yeah, that one was boring.
Well, by the end of the second round, when he was 16 under and was like 6 clear already, it was just a bit like.
Well, he broke the course records. Course records for a 36-hole record. Yeah. So, well, the only entertaining thing on the weekend was his head.
Yeah. Unbeaten tan line. Yeah. Jesus.
Literally a light bulb, and his son's one's just as bad, even though he's got long hair. Must be a
fair play to him. He's 47. He's the only 2-time winner this year. So alongside Bryson. Sorry.
Alongside,
to be a 2-time winner on tour at the age of 47, whilst you've got your son caddying for you. Pretty good life, isn't it?
Yeah, his son's got nothing. His son's a bloody good caddy. It's got nothing. He's there on merit, not on.
No, exactly. No, but I'm just saying, it's a case of
do it with your son.
No, exactly. Like, can life really get better than that? Winning millions at the age of 47 whilst you're taking your son around on a golf course.
Well, he can't ever go out in public without wearing a hat.
I wonder what he does do when he has to go out.
Neither can I most of the time, depending on how windy it is.
Does he have to fake tan his head?
Yeah, I don't know. But Siab, you are literally a barometer, or a wind indicator, mate. Because we know if it's blowing any more than two, you're wearing a hat. So that's our indicator, isn't it? But no, yeah, like you said, the old boys generally are doing well this year. Obviously, Westwood, prior to the last couple of weeks, has been.
Rose had a good run. Rose had a good run. I think I picked Furyk at Pebble Beach, and he did all right as well. So
yeah,
it shows you the fact if you hit fairways and you're consistently good with your irons, you'll last in the game.
But I think it's also because they haven't done anything differently. Whereas I think a lot of the younger ones are trying to change things. They're trying to emulate other people there, whereas they're just sticking to what they know and it works.
I think it's also showing you as well, without crowds, how much experience comes into it. It's not like you can just get amped up on the energy from the people there. You have to motivate yourself. You have to control and regulate yourself as to how you go about it. I think that kind of
fans though, surely it's not about a matter of experience. That's just.
I think experience is probably more important when there is fans, about knowing how to control your emotions.
I think it probably depends on the person. I think for someone like Rory, he feeds off the energy. So for him.
He hasn't.
He had all the energy at Royal Portrush at the Open, and that didn't go well. So
it doesn't go well for him normally, but fine. We'll move on because we're flying through this week. But then obviously Lydia Ko, is it Ko? That's right, isn't it? Yeah, Lydia Ko.
I guess.
She won on the tour, ending a very long drought for herself. Just over 3 years, just under 3 years, something like that.
1,084 days.
Yeah,
she's basically had the same career as Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, I saw the comparison. Yeah, they turned pro at the same time. They've almost won the same. They went the same period without winning. It's like
he's just won a few more majors, I think. But yeah,
tomato.
Yeah. I mean,
so we need to. Rory's not going to win for another 600 days then, or whatever it's going to be. So bunker down, guys.
No, 600 days.
Maybe one day
take
Tom
him
will
well
stop
over
picking
that.
Rory at every single event.
Never.
I thought
I'm bound to be
Rory's,
right once in the next 5 years.
but Rory's up to like 800 days already.
Is he?
Yeah, it's well
Is
over
he?
2 years.
Not
It's
that
over 2
much.
years.
He won the players like 2 years ago. So
That's 700 and something days,
Wow.
Tom.
and that's true.
Wow.
You went to Durham, mate. Come on.
Only 200 more days to go, and he'll be winning.
Yeah, right.
Didn't do maths though, did I, Seb? So yeah.
I didn't really get me far. But
Either. So yeah, who knows? Anyway, we'll move on. Obviously, somebody had a debate this week, which is one of those really. Obviously, Billy Horschel coming out and saying he wants to ban the arm lock putter.
Just because Bryson.
Yeah, but for somebody that's been doing well over the last month, has won a tournament, it's weird to come out and start moaning about things.
is it?
Yeah, but
Yeah, why is he moaning? What's he got? Like, what's his
Because
issue?
you want to win more, and you see that as your big competition. You
Yeah,
think that's
but-
giving your opponents a bigger edge?
No, but arm lock putters aren't dominating at all.
I do think it's a good.
it's Sehab's argument. It goes against the thingy of the game.
See, I don't know where I stand in this because I do think I do think it makes putting easier because it just eliminates another area where you can mess up because then it's just completely down to your shoulder rotation as to what you do. You completely take all of it out, So I think it probably makes it easier. I don't think there's any issue with having your arms. I don't think there should be any issue with having your arms locked, but maybe having the putters that go up to all the way up to your biceps. Probably they can go out of the game.
It would probably help every amateur in the world, but at pros you probably shouldn't be allowed to do it.
I think there was I think every single. You're right. I think every single amateur probably would benefit massively from that. Because the idea behind it is it removes all the inconsistency about how your face is when it comes to impact. But it probably shouldn't be allowed at the pros. But
it's when they did the putter where you had your arm halfway down the shaft. It's like
the claw grip.
Yeah, and it's or when the guy did the Mickey tape the other month and he
belly
held the
putter
bottom
things, whatever they were called.
or where he held the bottom of the putter with his pinky. That's not a legal shot. You can do that.
No, I don't think that should be allowed. I think variation of the grip is fine, but I think I don't
think it should make a difference. They practice their putting so much at the pros. Like, why does it matter?
But I think there probably can be something like with the driver, like you're only allowed to have a certain length of driver. I think there probably can be something like that where you're only allowed to have a certain length of putter.
What, like when they have a driver, you can't exceed a certain length. But then if you're taller, you're kind of.
Well, no, I feel the pain. I have to crouch over and putt. So,
but the only problem I see is it will then. The argument will then be obviously the people that have the different thickness grips, because a lot of people would argue the thicker grips make it easier. So then, should they be allowed? It's the same.
It's all just personal preference at the end of the day.
I think if you ban one, you have to ban them all. It's like you can't just pick and choose.
Do you really?
Well, yeah, because what's to say the bigger grip doesn't make more of a difference? It's subjective.
No, but everyone can have the bigger grip without it affecting the size of their putter. Because not everyone putts with that putting style with the long putter that's arm locked, but everyone can have that thicker grip.
Why can't everyone have the arm lock?
They can, but it's just not traditional, is it?
You see, that's
is it because Bryson uses it?
On the head there, Sia, but is it
because Bryson uses it?
I'll just be honest. I prefer a mallet style putter.
If Morikawa used it,
more,
would you have
more
an
traditional.
issue with it,
Do you know who's a real? Is it Adam Scott who has the one up here?
Yeah.
Or who is it? Yeah, I don't like that. That seems weird. That just seems like he's putting with a broomstick or something.
Yeah, but he's not winning.
Yeah, but he's not a very good putter.
No, but for someone who's got probably one of the best strokes, in terms of form on the game, it just seems so weird. It seems so weird for him to be putting like that.
Maybe he couldn't afford a putter as a kid, and they did give him a broomstick, and then he just.
You know, those hard knock stories I can hear with basketball, like, oh, I used to shoot into like a tire or something. So that's Adam Scott's hood story, is it?
Yeah.
The outback of Australia.
A suburban life in Australia. Yeah.
But anyhow, we'll move, because obviously the other news this week, which obviously getting fans back in, and they're looking at the US Open. Did they say 7 or 10,000 or something? So
something like that. You need to have a negative test or vaccine or something as well.
Which is kind of to be expected, isn't it? They're doing it in lots. They're doing it in music events now, and over in the US, they don't really care. So well, they put 45,000 in a baseball game in Texas.
Yeah, I know. He's filled the whole stadium. Yeah,
like there is throwing caution to the wind, and then there's just lobbing caution into a hurricane. They just do not care. So why not let them all go to the US Open? Who cares?
Why even bother with the negative test? Herd immunization. By the way, just so I don't support this. I do want there to be caution.
Is that your disclaimer?
Let's cut that out, and then we'll just leave him slamming all the COVID rules. And
I don't want this podcast to get cancelled. Week 10.
That's going to be the quote I pull out. See, I've all for herd immunity.
The Instagram preview. Yeah. What number of week are we on? How many of these have we actually done?
I have no idea.
14, I think we're on now.
Oh,
wow! And we've still not gone viral.
Yeah,
we will now.
Yeah. Well, we're getting there on the gram. It takes time to transfer across onto the tube. People need to see us, feel us.
On the YouTube, got to write the team tune, sing the team tune.
Amen. So, right, we'll due to slight tardiness, we kind of forgotten what our predictions were. So we'll come back. We'll recap that next week. We'll add all the points.
I can tell you.
He's got the predictions. We just don't know what the scores are.
Yes. So Seb predicted his first pick, his lock pick was Patrick Reed.
Let me write these down so I can actually remember and do.
And Reed was a top 10 finish, so that's 3 points. Double to 6.
Yep. And Seb's wildcard pick was Jordan Spieth.
So another 3 points because he was top 10, so 9.
Lovely. Tom's lock pick, so double points, was Bryson DeChambeau. And his wildcard
for every stroke he was over par.
I just start getting minus points with my picks now. It's getting ludicrous.
And Tom's wildcard pick was Paul Casey.
Wild.
He didn't do too badly.
Yeah, didn't do well.
My lock pick was JT. No idea where he finished, but somewhere near the top 20, I reckon.
Somewhere near the top 20, you reckon?
He was near the top 20. He was probably closer to the bottom 20.
Let's have a look. He was 21, 21st, so just outside.
Oh.
Well, it's 11 away.
Because my wildcard pick did not do very well. My wildcard was Rory.
So Seb is the only one who got any points.
Top 10 all day.
So that means Seb is up to 30 points. So 30 points.
Can we just stop this announcement? You know what I said at the beginning of this podcast? Woodward's just resigned. Told you. Get in there! Ed Woodward resigned. Breaking news on a golf podcast. after Seb said he wouldn't.
No, I said they wouldn't fire him. I didn't think he'd resign. No.
Told you. He's gonna get death threats again. Anyway, carry on.
Oh dear. All right, we do not support death threats to Ed Woodward for as bad of a football sporting director he has been.
He made a lot of money.
You should all be worried about United now. We don't have a loon at the helm.
You still do. You've got the Glazers. You've got the Glazers.
Well, I think
because you know anyone their point is going to be just as bad. But getting back on point, as much as we all want to talk about football and the shake-up that's happening, we won't.
Someone's just sent me a picture of Alan Partridge going, "This is great banter. It really is." It's always kind of chaotic.
So
before we lose the entire plot,
a golf super league. Could you do a golf super league?
No.
Would that work in any way?
It's just a PGA.
Yeah, no, it'd be like it'd just be the same as having like a Ryder Cup, but like with individuals. Just
But could you do like
it's much easier to implement, I think, in golf because there is windows to do it.
You could do like a 20-week. You could do like a 20-week Super League and have a cumulative score at the end of it. So whatever you are under par over 20 events.
Yeah, it's called
whoever wins.
It's called the FedEx, mate.
Well, no, but that's
basically what the FedEx is. They get to the end for a stupid prize pot that they accumulate points. They've kind of almost got it.
I mean,
but you don't have a thing where you're like, say,
design you a league.
Yeah, but you could play so well for like 19 rounds and then be like, for example, 200 under par, and the nearest person could be like 174 under par.
Whereas so you want the money to be dictated on how under par they are.
Well, yeah, because you have a leaderboard, wouldn't you, over how many games they've had.
I guess that would also actually address the problem as to how often these lot are playing.
Yeah, because they all have to play. If you miss an event, you can't.
Because, for example, someone like Sanjay M, who plays every goddamn event on the tour.
Or you just skip the hardest courses, knowing that someone's going to go over par and you just like play wing.
Matthew Wolf deciding when he's going to be skipping.
Yeah,
he leaves it so last minute as well. He does, doesn't he? He leaves it. He must be the bookie's favourite player because everyone puts money thinking he's going to play, and then he'll arrive on the morning and go, no, not this time.
He's got to be like the most overrated player in golf, though.
I don't know. You'd probably argue Rory's been the most overrated in the last 2 years.
But he still had top tens.
Who hasn't had top tens?
No, but consistently top tens. Anyway,
right, on to next week. So we'll round it up because obviously we got the Paris obviously coming up. Was he so?
The what?
What have you said, Tom? You said.
Did you say Paris? Pairs.
He said Paris.
Fool.
Paris.
Don't get dyslexic people to read your announcements.
Are you against dyslexic, Sehab? Do you want to do another?
Oh dear!
Oh my God!
Sehab, for shame, sir.
Yeah. This is going on the internet, Sehab. Yes.
I was referring entirely to you. I mean, I apologise.
So don't get Seb to read your thing out. Yeah, what you should have said.
I apologise to the wider dyslexic community. It's just Seb is a particularly poor example of someone to read your announcements.
Write the theme tune, sing the theme tune, do the.
All right, that's getting cut out.
I've already done that once.
What were you on about then, Tom? You talk.
Pairs tournament.
It's the pairs tournament. So basically, I don't know how they choose the pairs. I don't know if they just ask each other and are like, "Do you want to pair up?
Do you want to go to prom with me?"
Basically, and you have to court your favourite person and be like, take them for dinner and stuff.
Sorry, I'm already going with Smith.
But I haven't got a thing in front of me. But the rounds 1 and 3 are like best ball, and then rounds 2 and 4 are like alternate shot, I believe.
They just they're trying to make content for YouTube
in the pairs. So, and then obviously their best score is you just do it like a normal. You do it like a normal tournament of how far under par you get, but it's within those round parameters. It's quite interesting because you could have someone driving great and then someone shank it off the fairway.
So, for example, this interesting pairing, Wolfie and Morikawa. So Wolf can hit it off the driver, and then Morikawa.
They have to alternate whoever tees off each hole there.
Yeah, and then Leishman Smith, Rahman Palmer, Stenson
they won
and Rose.
It last year.
Watson and Scheffler, which will probably be interesting. Schauffele and Cantlay, Champ and Finau, Herschels and Burns.
Champ and Finau are going to be blasting it.
Who do we fancy?
Who's picking first? I don't know who's picking first anymore.
I don't know.
I picked first for Masters, so it'll be Tom.
I'm going to go with Xander and Cantlay, please.
Okay.
Xander and Cantlay. I don't even know who's playing, but I'm just going off the PGA Tours.
You just read them out, mate. Go on.
I was doing off the PGA Tours Instagram thing.
It's quite hard to say because you don't know how people are going to play in pairs, to be honest. It's not a usual occurrence. Unless you got to pick ones you play in Ryder Cup, really, don't you?
It's a shot in the dark. You go, Siab.
I'm going to go with John Rahm and Palmer. I just feel consistency.
Who did you go with, Tom? Sorry?
Xander and Cantlay.
Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay. Good pairing.
Hatton and Willett.
I was just going to say you're going to say that. Ooh,
interesting.
I don't. There's not.
I have gone with. I think I've gone with the bookie's favourite pairing, Ryan Palmer and John. Tom's gone with the second favourite bookies pairing, and Seb has gone with the seventh. The seventh favourite.
Is there only 7 groups?
Well, there's a top 10. So no, it's funny enough. No one went for Seamus Power and David Hearn.
For obvious reason. It's basically just the pro-am. So anyway, but right, we'll wrap it up there because obviously Seahub's going to run away.
Actually, other breaking news. Just before we do break off, the PGA Tour have just created a $40 million bonus structure. The Player Impact Program, which is designed to reward players who generate sponsors and fan engagement. These players will be decided by an algorithm to take into account various factors that contribute to a player's star power. So it's just going to make the best players richer. That's the Super League. It's a Super League example for the best players.
Selfishness, embarrassment, they should all leave.
So Tiger's just going to be sitting in his hospital bed making flipping 40 million.
Making billions, yeah.
All right. God, well, right. I'm out. So
there we go. Peace. Right, peace. Bye.